Welcome, everybody. Today, to start off the proceedings, we have with us Neeraj Gupta, Chief Advisor for Technology and Investment at Invest Alberta Corporation, for our opening keynote. Neeraj will be sharing his insights on tech leadership in an accelerating world. Welcome, Neeraj. Over to you.
Thank you, Mitali. Um, Thanks for the opportunity to speak about Alberta. Uh, since I am assuming that most of the companies over here are technology led, I'm sure that you are looking at the entire paradigm about Canada and also Alberta. So I'll first of all talk about Canada. One of the very interesting aspects of Canada is that in last 10 years, uh, the innovation paradigm in Canada was already very high. I'm sure that you know that Canada is very well known for oil and gas, energy, gaming, AI, machine learning. However, with so much of inflow of tech startups to Canada, even from US, in last 10 years, you will see a lot of good companies from fintech, medtech, clean tech have been coming to Canada and exploring Canada not only as a client base but also as a tech base and research and R&D base. And Alberta, in particular, in last 10 years, have been doing a lot of work when it comes to the technology-backed startups. Uh, it- Canada has a lot of very good avenues in terms of tax related good and very favorable tax regime in Canada, but in particularly Alberta is probably one of the lowest when it comes to taxes. Uh, However, another important aspect is your research and development. There are different kind of grants available in Canada. Uh, for example, a grant called SHRED, wherein your R&D expenditure and your employees who are doing research and development, up to 60% of their salaries could be reimbursed by government. So there are different kind of grants that are very um, uh, favorable for startups. Let me put it that way. When it comes to Alberta, Alberta in last particularly 3 years has seen very huge upsurge in the tech led economy, primarily because Alberta was very strong in oil and gas and energy. And oil and gas and energy, there was so much money that they could accelerate a lot of corporate venturing programs to help in IoT, AI, machine learning, clean tech, energy sector, so much that there was a lot of money flowing for startups to do innovation, which eventually oil and gas and energy companies could digest and help startup grow to the next stage. However, in last 3 years in particular, because of that momentum, now there are so many good startups that are coming uh, in Alberta, be it Edmonton or Calgary. Last 1 year alone, there are three startups which have raised anywhere between $50 million to $150 million. And these are the companies, SaaS-based company called Benevity, which got acquired in $1.2 billion by a UK-based PE firm. A company, a robotics and AI company called Etabotics, which raised $67 million plus got the grant from federal government called SIF, Strategic Innovation Fund, around $33 million. And then there is a company, a fintech company called Siemens. They got a huge amount of funding. And there are so many other tech companies, be it fintech, be it robotics, be it SaaS-based B2B startups, be it medtech companies, which have raised anywhere between pre-Series A or angel to Series B, C, D. And that shows a lot about what Alberta is ready to do. Their Invest Alberta was in particular formed to help startups and companies like yours to have a soft landing in Alberta and help you explore the entire market in terms of client base as well as in terms of R&D. So we have something called Alberta Innovates. So if you are setting up your company in Alberta, and if if you're building a product, you have a huge amount of grant which is given by Alberta Innovates to sustain the development. There are several such grants which are available in Alberta. Because, and why I'm talking in particular about grants are when you are at the early stage, startup, one thing is you're looking for angel investment. Second is you're looking for talent. Third is you're looking for a lot of other support. And other support grants become very important part of it. But apart from that talent, there is huge amount of talent. University of Calgary, University of Alberta, Tech Edmonton has such a good talent, and you can collaborate with them. You can do the joint collaboration and joint research with the university. If you are AI and machine learning startup, one of the largest AI ecosystems, among three largest AI ecosystems in Canada, in fact in North America, are one in Montreal called Mila. Second is Vector Institute, and third is in Edmonton called Amy. And this is a non-profit organization, a research-led AI machine learning organization, which you can collaborate with and help develop the product. If you are into IoT, robotics, hardware, then there is something called Alberta IoT, which is a very well-known consortium and can help you go to the next stage in terms of development and client base and understanding the entire ecosystem. There are different kind of incubators like Platform Calgary, Calgary Development, Creative Destruction Lab, CDL, Zone Startup. It's a perfect ecosystem for any startup to flourish. And the best part is Alberta is very beautiful. It's very livable. I live in Alberta, and I am from India. I have lived in Sweden. I have lived in US. I have lived in India. And now my home is Alberta. And I can tell you that the amount of opportunities you have over here to flourish are huge. And we from Invest Alberta are more than happy to help you, support you in whatever ways possible. The other important aspect is the angel ecosystem. So Alberta has a very strong angel ecosystem. There are funds available like Valhalla Angels, and there are a couple of other angel funds like A100. These are the angel funds which are always looking for a good startups to invest in. In fact, in last 1.5 years, I have seen 5 new funds, not only angel but different stage of funds coming in Alberta, either started by Albertians or started by a lot of North American VC funds. So you have that perfect blend of research, support from the government, and the ecosystem, which is very much required for any company to flourish. And more importantly, I am seeing, like, I've lived in Bangalore, and in Bangalore I've seen the kind of companies and what has happened in 2005. Between 2005 and 2010, what happened and what kind of support, the kind of support the startups got, and the perfect ecosystem that led that upsurge of good startups coming in, and suddenly India and Bangalore becoming in particular the startup center of Asia. And that's what is happening in Alberta. That's very important for us to understand. And there are other aspects of Alberta which you probably will realize. So if you are a health tech startup, so one of the biggest health ecosystem is called Health City, and Health City is based out of Edmonton, and you can get a lot of support, collaboration. There are a lot of venture corporate venturing programs. Like in Canada, you talk about Johnson and Johnson Labs, J Labs. If you are into medtech, if you are into robotics or B2B sales and SaaS, then you can talk to Accenture Ventures. There are a lot of oil and gas startups. So if you're an IoT startup or different kind of startup which could help in oil and gas and energy, there are a lot of companies like Suncor and Husky and a lot of these companies that have a corporate venturing program. So I personally feel that after living in Toronto, after living in Vancouver, and after living in Alberta, Alberta is the best place if you are looking to flourish as a startup. More importantly, and the proximity matters. Like if you have business in US, so Seattle is just 1 hour flight from here, 3 hours flight is San Francisco, and Vancouver and Toronto are not very far. So if in particular, if you're looking at the international ecosystem, Canada is probably one of the best places. And once you establish yourself in Canada, you can grow yourself to US as well. I am also a chief strategy officer for one of the very big and large startup called Etabotics. And the one which I was telling you about, that overall in terms of grant and funding in Series C, we raised around $102 million. And we are Calgary company. We are Alberta company. Most of the businesses are based out of US. Most of the clients are based out of US, and we are getting all the support to do everything in US. And US investors really appreciate the fact that that we are based out of Alberta and doing so much of our work. If you're into manufacturing, probably Alberta is one of the best places. So all in all I can say is that if you are trying to tap to begin with North American market, explore Canada and in particular Alberta. Invest Alberta is here to help you in whatever ways possible. Me and a lot of my colleagues are personally ready to help you, and probably I'll get a chance to interact with a couple of you guys moving down the line as a mentor, and happy to provide